He was given magical shoes from a hip-hop Motown dude. Together they had power. They stood up for what was right.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most terrible fingers-on-chalkboard TV theme songs. Heads up, some spoilers to come.
Oh, hello! May I have an acorn?
Number 20, The Big Bang Theory.
The whole universe was in a hot, dense state.
Of course, a show about science-loving nerds would begin with some kind of scientific explanation for the titular theory. But this ain't it, Chief. The song was composed by rock band the Bare Naked Ladies at the behest of the showrunners, who liked co-lead Ed Robertson's freestyle rap on the same subject.
If Howard hadn't drugged him, he would have taken it to his grave.
Perhaps the freestyle rap may have been more clever.
Earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids.
As it is, the Big Bang Theory theme is a mostly unrhymed, barely coherent explanation for the universe's beginnings and humanity's development and accomplishment. Though it is mercifully short, it definitely gets grating with repetition.
What did I do wrong? Why are you asking me?
Number 19, But Ugly Martians. Now, this theme song is as butt ugly as its show. That may be intentional, but it doesn't make it any more bearable.
We don't really want a war,
I just want a hoverboard.
The theme song for this Nickelodeon show is not just repetitious, but poorly sung with abysmal lyric writing.
we don't want to conquer Earth.
I just wanna feel my girth.
Melody-wise, the song obviously takes inspiration from military training, call and response drills. Most tellingly, the theme bears a slight resemblance to the kid-friendly The Ants Go Marching, based on the Civil War-era song. Except, of course, it's way less of a fun march and more of a dirge.
When it absolutely, positively has to be destroyed overnight.
Number 18, Pickle and Peanut.
You guys, this is gonna be so great.
Well, good luck, man.
Speaking of listicle-style songs, the theme song to this 2015 animated show is a definite bore.
Sharks, swords, yogurt, kicks, fries, smartphones, hot tubs, yeah.
From its passive-aggressive lack of rhyme to its indifferent rap, the Pickle and Peanut theme barely has a musical identity, much less coherent lyrics.
Drop top, laptop, breath mint scars, kittens, Woodsky's, drive-thrus fresh.
You would think the misadventures of these two anthropomorphic foods deserved something quirkier. As it is, it's freestyle rap so free, it's basically like reading out a shopping list.
Tight pants, widescreens, tacos, wheelies, freestyle thrift stores, mini trampoline.
No doubt the theme song matches the show's absurdism, but this is just too lethargic for any comic charm. Even so, it's hard to believe this show starred on Disney XD with such a bad theme.
Pickle and Peanut.
Pickle and Peanut.
Pickle and Peanut.
Number 17, The Ropers. A spin-off of the classic sitcom Three's Company. Now this we have to see. Unfortunately, The Ropers, focusing on the landlords to the famous trio, disappoints in at least one respect. Unlike the jaunty Three's Company theme, The Ropers opts for an instrumental, complete with farting trombones and a high-pitched clarinet. The melody is a brave attempt at a jazz humoresque, but it lacks both the improvisation of jazz and the humour and wit of, well, humoresque. The result is less quirky than dull and rote.
Helen, I didn't mean anything by it. It's all your fault.
Number 16, Shaggy and ScoobyDoo Get a Clue.
Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, get a clue.
Do you know what would be an appropriate theme song for this Warner Bros. Animated Scooby-Doo series? Anything. Seriously, anything other than this.
I'm gonna sing this song all day long. To the friends on the run, making trouble, having fun. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, get a clue.
The Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue theme is obviously not going to measure up to the pleasantly groovy theme of the original show, but this fast-paced rock theme, half sung and half shouted, goes beyond disappointing. It doesn't even have the saving grace to be short, meaning that for a full minute we get treated to repetitious lyrics in an already repetitious melody.
Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, get a clue. Yeah, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, get a clue. Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, get a clue.
Yeah, we got the clue, alright? This theme sucks.
Like, where do we hide, Scoob?
Number 15, The Mindy Project.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's an eternal dilemma for a TV show. Should it have an instrumental theme or a vocal one? Both can be good choices, depending on the show. But what happens when a show decides to choose both? Good thing about this scatting theme is its jaunty, catchy melody, even if it's without much emotion. but simply singing "nah" was not a wise choice. It almost seems as if the singer itself is mocking the song. Safe to say, singing the theme song may get you accused of mockery pretty quickly, or just being a nuisance.
Hey, it's cool if you're into me. Kevin Garnett once bought me a Coke at a P.F. Chang's.
Number 14. Charles in Charge.
The new boy in the neighborhood.
The cloying theme to this 80s series has the grace to be mellow at least, but alas, not the grace to be good.
Charles in charge of our days and our nights.
The Charles in Charge theme, barely performed by Shandy Cinnamon, was composed by David Kurtz, Michael Jacobs, and Al Burton. Apart from being very typically 80s, the theme has a meandering, middling melody that goes nowhere near interesting.
And I see
And what's with the lyrics? Charles in charge of our days and our nights, in charge of our wrongs and our rights. I mean, this is a 19-year-old college kid we're talking about. How much charisma does this guy have? I mean, if this theme song is any indication, not much.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, my dear friend, thank you.
Number 13. South Park. Yeah, we know, it's blasphemous for such a long-running, iconic comedy to appear on this list. But no show is perfect, and if South Park has any weaknesses, it is its theme song.
friendly faces everywhere, humble folks without temptation.
Sung by Les Claypool, the lead singer of the band Primus, the song is a folk rock or bluegrass ditty without much to recommend it. Interspersed with Claypool's vocals are the main characters' voices, including Kenny's muffled lines, typically of a sexually explicit nature. The lack of wit and humour is disappointing, to say the least, and with repetition, it hardly gets better.
That was a sweet idea, Kyle. God damn it, that wasn't my idea!
Number 12. Caillou.
I'm just a kid who's 4. Each day I grow some more. I like exploring. I'm Caillou.
Ah, Caillou. Perhaps the most infamous 4-year-old boy in the history of children's programming, Caillou's show has been considered at best cloyingly inoffensive and at worst controversial. His theme also leaves much to be desired.
My world is turning, changing each day. With mommy and daddy, I'm finding my way.
Sung by its titular character, voiced by Brian McCauley, this melody is both mawkish and jaunty, both mellow and excitable. The lyrics are appropriately kid-friendly, though replete with uncreative rhymes about Caillou's daily life and interests.
Growing up is not so tough, except when I've had enough.
The effect may not be completely objectionable, but it's certainly not inspiring. And it's quite annoying when you hear it over and over again.
Caillou, 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 I'm Caillou.
Number 11. The Nut Shack. There are redeemable qualities in even the worst TV shows. In theory, anyway. The theme song for this vulgar Filipino-American show would have us analysing that theory fairly quickly.
It's the Nut Shack. It's the Nut Shack. It's the Nut Shack.
Half of this song's length is spent repeating the title of the show over and over again. This is bad enough, but then it segues into a terrible, poorly written rap about the characters. The unvarying, almost intentionally poor taste of the theme song became a meme all on its own. The fact that one of the worst and most poorly rated animated shows has such a theme is apropos.
It's the Nut Shack.
Number 10. Hammerman. The more confident among us can openly admit to loving MC Hammer's massive hit song, You Can't Touch This. It was a great time, fun was had, but for most fans, that was the end of the love affair with Hammer and his parachute pants. Somehow though, he landed this children's show, which saw a cartoon superhero version of him solving crimes with a pair of magical dancing shoes.
So Gramps opened up the bag and took out the magical shoes.
The theme song, performed by Hammer himself, is as ridiculous as the show's concept. In a far too long rap, Hammer tells the origin of Hammerman and the magical shoes.
He was given magical shoes from a hip-hop Motown dude. Together they had power. They stood up for what was right.
The rap is jumbled, completely lacks rhyme, and unsurprisingly, isn't exactly lyrically compelling. And don't worry, Hammer, no one will touch this. Number 9. Scaredy Squirrel. There has to be some parent out there who's had a breakdown from hearing this theme song one too many times, which is to say, they've heard it exactly once. The theme song to this cartoon about a hyperactive squirrel and his skunk buddy getting into crazy situations down at the supermarket where they work is overly offensive to, oddly enough, jazz. Tonally, the song doesn't speak jazz, rather it sticks to the classic upbeat overload of sound structure that many children's shows select. When the squirrel attempts to sing jazz, he coughs out nonsensical words in what we assume is an attempt to scat. It's a failure, and we're left listening to high-pitched dribble. Number 8. Star Trek Enterprise.
It's been a long road getting from there to here.
The producers behind Enterprise wanted a Star Trek like none that came before, and unfortunately, they got it.
I will see my dream come alive at last. I will touch the sky.
Veering far from other Star Trek iterations, Enterprise chose to ditch the orchestral format for its theme song and instead went with Faith of the Heart by Russell Watson.
'Cause I've got faith of the heart, going where my heart will take me.
The song is fine enough for an adult contemporary grocery store soundtrack, but not for Star Trek. It's slow, deep, and most of all, not very Trek. A franchise about wonder and exploration and the beauty of the expansive universe. They tried to improve it for later seasons by upping the tempo, but it still felt really flat.
I've got faith into the heart.
Every time fans heard Enterprise's inappropriate theme, they boldly went to another channel.
I wonder how long they've been there.
Long enough to throw half our systems out of whack.
Number 7. Happy Tree Friends. Surprise, surprise, another kid show. Well, not quite. Happy Tree Friends, a show that at first glance seems to be about cute little woodland creatures, is actually deceptively violent and gory. And it opts for some high-pitched squealing as the primary musical element in its theme, because that's what animals do, they squeal. Anyway, the theme song is about 30 seconds of extremely piercing high-octave noises set to a background beat of a tuba. The tuba is actually the least offensive part of the song, so well done tuba player, I suppose. Number 6. Elmos World.
La 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 la, la 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 la, Elmos World.
La 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 la. Please stop. Please, just stop. This is the thought, set to an unfortunate melody, that rolls through a person's mind when they are in range of Elmo and his tone-deaf world.
La 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 la, la 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 la, Elmos World.
The show within a show is admittedly great for kids, and plenty of people out there would concede to having a soft spot for the little red guy. But that doesn't mean the song isn't hard to listen to. It is at best annoyingly catchy, and at worst, it's akin to a hole being drilled in the side of your head. Goldfish and crayons aren't enough to save us from this painfully irritating earworm.
That's Elmos World.
Number 5. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Brace yourselves, even if you haven't seen the show, you probably know what's coming. Alvin and his pesky chipmunks achieved mainstream billion-dollar success with their film franchise. And anyone familiar with the movies knows how heavily they are marketed through mainstream songs that have been put through a squeaky chipmunk filter. The show's theme song does the same thing, letting the chipmunks' squeaky singing voices take center stage. It's another example of a children's show opting for shrill vocals and up-tempo beats. We're not sure, but there has to be some science behind the formula, because it seems that every new cartoon out there is upping the ante on annoying themes. Number 4. The L Word.
Crying, drinking, riding, winning, losing, cheating, kissing, thinking, dreaming.
Not introduced until Season 2, the hugely annoying theme song to the L Word has had several complaints lodged against it, but we'll start here. It tries too hard to be a James Bond song.
Girls in tight dresses who drag with mustaches.
I mean, the Bond themes work because, well, it's James Bond, and it's part of that franchise's culture. To work elsewhere, though, everything needs to be just right. The L Word did not get it right, and that's because of the other issues. The show follows a group of lesbians in Hollywood in fairly melodramatic situations, and that's also what the vocals focus on.
This is the way, it's the way that we live.
It inappropriately and stereotypically flaunts the characters' identities, resulting in a song that's actually fairly offensive to members of the LGBTQIA+ community.
I'm not questioning your ability, I'm questioning your desire.
Number 3. Animaniacs.
It's time for Animaniacs.
Returning to children's shows, we land on the Animaniacs. While we're sure this tune has its fans, some viewers find the theme so bothersome because it feels like a circus tune. And you know what? It's designed to be annoying.
Come join the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dot. Just for fun, we run around the Warner movie lot.
The show's 3 main characters, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot, spend the song taking the viewer around the Warner Brothers lot, explaining the hijinks they get up to. It's high-pitched, way too fast, and altogether too much, but hey, it won an Emmy.
But we break loose and bend the moose, and now you know the plot.
Oh, here's something else you may not know as well. The show's executive producer is Steven Spielberg. Yeah, that Steven Spielberg. You learn something new every day.
Thank you. It did go rather well, didn't it?
Number 2. Fanboy and Chum Chum. I mean, what the heck is a Chum Chum? You know what? Not important. We're here to talk about the show's theme song, and yes, it really, truly earned the number 2 spot. An innocent whistle begins this song, but that's just the calm before the storm, because then Fanboy and Chum Chum break into a rap and all hell breaks loose. These two nasally demon spawns vomit up lyrics about their underwear and getting a brain freeze. And then you won't believe this, the song literally encourages its fans to scream at the top of their lungs. I mean, do you even realise what you're doing to parents? Peaceful household? No more. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Barney and Friends. You know what's funny? Most people think that the Barney theme song is the whole I love you, you love me thing. But that isn't the real theme, although it was used to torture POWs in Iraq. No, Barney's theme is actually completely different, but don't worry, it's still super annoying. It landed the number 1 spot for a very good or bad reason.
Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination, and when he's tall, he's what we call a dinosaur sensation.
The song, entitled Barney is a Dinosaur, is set to the tune of Yankee Doodle, which is offensive enough as it is. It sings of Barney, how he's a dinosaur, and all the fun he gets up to with the children. Let's just say that when this version of the show ended in 2010, we're happy the irritating theme song was retired along with it.
Uh-oh, I'm getting out of here.
So, which other TV show themes feel like they're drilling a hole in your brain? Let us know in the comments down below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.